Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Bill. We're going to be on Masters of the Wild. We're continuing the Prestige class videos. We are going to do the final Prestige class in this book, which is the Wind Rider. So we'll read in, see what the class is, see what the requirements are, your skills, your proficiencies, see what the table is for the 10 level breakdown of the Prestige class. Then we'll read the detailed information of the special abilities. The Wind Rider is a specialist in mounted combat, but hers is no ordinary mount. The creature she rides is at least unusual and often rare, sometimes even bizarre. Although an experienced Wind Rider can ride anything that runs, swims, or flies, the typical member of this prestige class settles on one particular kind of mount as a personal favorite. Some Wind Riders are no more than swaggering, arrogant adventurers looking for a good fight. Perhaps their pride is justified, considering the creatures they've turned into mounts. Many, however, are just as happy to sit back and tell stories of how they got their mounts and the adventures they've had since, no matter who buys the ale. The typical Wind Rider cheerfully shares her knowledge about her various mounts with those who seek to ride similar creatures. So, the Wind Rider requirements for the Prestige class, you need to have a base attack bonus of +5. So, if you're a fighter class, you need to be at least 5th level. And by fighter class, I mean anything that has the best base attack bonus in the game. You have to have the following skills: Handle Animal, 8 ranks; Knowledge Nature, 6 ranks; Ride, 8 ranks. If I was going to build this skill requirement for Pathfinder, Handle Animal would be reduced to 5 ranks because the maximum amount of ranks you could have in the skills is equal to your level in Pathfinder, where in 3rd edition D&D, the maximum number you could have in your ranks was your level +3. So Handle Animal would become 5 ranks, Ride would become 5 ranks, and Knowledge Nature would become 5 ranks. You need the mounted combat feat, and you must have a mount as a special requirement. As you level in Wind Rider, you'd get a D10 hit dice every level. Weapon and armor proficiencies. They're proficient in all simple and martial weapons and all types of armor and shields. So the way that's written in this situation, they're even proficient in tower shields, even though you can't use one from a mount, because it says and shields. It doesn't specify just only like non-tower shields. Skill points at each level. You get 2 plus your intelligence modifier every level you take a Wind Rider. The following skills are class skills: balance, concentration, craft, diplomacy, handle animal, heal, jump, knowledge nature, any profession, and ride. So concentration would not be a class skill if I was using this for Pathfinder. You would just get this class as your concentration ranks. So your level in this class would be your concentration. I don't think balance is its own skill anymore. I think it's part of acrobatics, and so is jump. So those would reduce the amount of skills number-wise you would have to pick from. So it'd be a little bit easier to distribute your ranks. We're going to look at the table now. So the base attack bonus at 1st level is a +1, and by 10th level is a +10. So it follows the fighter's attack bonus. And remember, that stacks with your existing class, so every time you would reach a point where that table shows you that you would get another new attack, you would get that as appropriate. The Fortitude and the Will save are the best saves for this class. They'll start at a +2 and end at a +7. So any core class you look at 1st level, if they have a +2 in one of their saves, it follows that progression. Reflex save is their worst save. It'll start at a +0. So just like any core class, it'd start at a +0 at 1st level. And by the time you're 10th level, you only have a +3 in it. And that'll stack with your existing bonuses from your previous classes. So you get spells per day in this class, and it follows sort of a paladin or ranger progression because there's only 4 levels. You'll start with 0 spells per day at first level in the prestige class, which means you'll only get your bonus spells. And when we read details in it, we'll know what ability score you need for the bonus spells. But by the time you reach 10th level, you only get 2 first level spells. And you'll have 2 second level spells, 2 third level spells, and 1 fourth level spell. I would probably compare that result with the Paladin out of Pathfinder or the Ranger out of Pathfinder, and start them when they first get their spells. Start the table there to be your level 1 Wind Rider, and look to see how many spells they should have in first, second, and third by the time they're 10th level. So at first level, you get a Praise Mount, Chosen Mount, and Empathetic Link. So it sounds like you're getting a version of a Paladin mount. You also get Mount Proficiency 4 hit dice. At second level, you get Mount Assistance, Mount Feat 1. At third level, you get a bonus feat and Mount Healing. At fourth level, you will get Mount Proficiency 8 hit dice. At fifth level, you'll get Mount Feat 2 and Mount Friendship. At sixth level, you'll get Mount Proficiency 12 hit dice. At seventh level, you'll get a bonus feat and Mount Link. At 8th level, you'll get Mount Proficiency 16 hit dice. At 9th level, you'll get Mount Feat 3 and Mount Luck. At 10th level in the Prestige class, you'll get Mount Proficiency All. So let's start by reading about spells per day, and then we'll go into the details that we just described as the level specials. A Wind Rider can cast a small number of divine spells. Her spells are based on wisdom, so casting a given spell requires a wisdom score of at least 10 plus the spell's level. The DC for saving throws against these spells is 10 plus spell level plus the Wind Rider's wisdom modifier. When the table indicates that the Wind Rider is entitled to 0 spells of a given level, such as 0 first level spells at first level, she gets only those spells that her wisdom score allows, so bonus spells. A Wind Rider prepares and casts spells just like a druid does, but she must choose them from the spell list below. Let's see what that spell list is. First level, Alarm, Animal Trick, Calm Animals, Detect Poison, Endure Elements, Know Direction, Remove Fear, Resistance, Speak with Animals. At second level, Bottle of Smoke, Delay Poison, Endurance, Resist Elements, Magic Fang, Magic Armor, Nature's Favor, Protection from Arrows, Shield Other. Third level, Heal Mount, Neutralize Poison, Pass Without a Trace, Phantom Steed, Protection from Elements. Fourth level, Freedom of Movement, Greater Magic Fang, Greater Magic Weapon, Repel Vermin. And a couple of them are new spells in 3rd edition. They are in this actual book. Animal Trick, Bottle of Smoke, Nature's Favor are all new spells that are in this book. Okay, so like I said, I'd probably increase the spells you would get following the table, because it feels like you should have more first level spells and second level spells by the time you would max out at 10th level. And that's just my feel of the Prestige class so far. I'd also expand that table of spells by combining the Paladin spells and the Ranger spells, and just not using all of them, but picking what would fit with how this class feels. Appraise Mount. At first level, a Wind Rider can compare 2 mounts of the same kind and tell at a glance which one is superior, stronger, faster, more intelligent, better stamina, and so on. If desired, the Wind Rider can also conduct a point-by-point comparison of 2 mounts. By spending 1 round examining both, she can determine which has the higher score in any single ability of her choice. After a second round of study, the Wind Rider, familiar with that kind of creature, can also determine whether each mount's score in that ability is average, above average, or below average for the species. After a third round of study, the Wind Rider can tell how extreme that ability score is. That is, whether the modifier it generates is more than 4 points higher or lower than the average for that species. The appraise mount ability never produces a numerical rating. DMs must describe the Wind Rider's findings. So that's pretty cool. It's more of you, based on your knowledge, this is the feeling you get from this mount as you study it. Chosen mount. The Wind Rider may designate any one mount she has previously ridden as her chosen mount. This creature may not be a bonded companion, such as a familiar, a paladin's mount, or an animal companion, to anyone else at the time. So you can't take somebody else's mount away from them, or animal friend, or whatever, is what it's saying. And if its intelligence score is 3 or higher, it must also agree to this relationship. The Wind Rider can use any means desired to obtain this agreement, the diplomacy skill, bribery, or even magical persuasion, but the creature must be willing. The Wind Rider must spend a minimum of 3 days training her chosen mount before any benefits occur. Thereafter, the creature gains the advantages listed on the table 521, which I'll read next, based on the Wind Rider's level. The creature retains its own type and gains no abilities other than those listed, though it is considered a bonded companion for the Unbound ability. See the Blighter Prestige class for that ability. Okay, so Wind Rider level 1 to 3, it gets +2 bonus hit dice, +4 to its natural armor, and +2 to its strength. When you're 4 to 6th level in Wind Rider, the hit dice bonus increases by another 2, so it's now a +4 hit dice. Its natural armor increases by 2, so now it's a +6 to its natural armor instead of +4. But its strength adjustment doesn't change. 7 to 9th level, it's a +6 hit dice. Its natural armor is now +8 from this, and its strength adjustment is a +4. At 10th level, you get a +8 hit dice, +10 to natural armor, and its strength adjustment doesn't change anymore. The Wind Rider may only have one chosen mount at any time, and either party may sever this relationship at any time without penalty. Once it ends, the mount loses the benefits it gained according to the table that I just read. If the chosen mount is a Paladin's Warhorse, the rules in the Paladin's Mount sidebar in the player's handbook supersedes those given here. Empathic link. The Wind Rider has an empathic link with her chosen mount. This ability works like the empathic link that a Paladin has with her mount. Mount proficiency. At first level, the Wind Rider gains a +2 competence bonus to any check to avoid being unseated while riding her chosen mount. In addition, she can ride any mount with 4 hit dice or less at full benefit of her riding skill, suffering neither the -2 penalty for riding similar mounts nor the -5 penalty for riding dissimilar mounts. The hit dice of the mounts to which this later benefit applies increases with the Wind Rider level. 8 hit dice at 4th level, 12 hit dice at 6th level, 16 hit dice at 8th level, and any mount at 10th level. Mount assistance. At 2nd level, the Wind Rider can assist any mount she is riding in one of 2 ways. Per use of the ability, first she can use the cooperation and aid other rules to provide a +4 bonus, which is double the normal amount, to her mount's armor class, or any single attack roll or any skill or ability check the mount attempts. Alternatively, she can provide her mount a +10 competency bonus to speed for 1 full round. Mount assistance is usable once per round and requires a standard action. So you'll be burning your attack action to use that, just so that you're aware. Mount feat. At 2nd level, the Wind Rider can grant her chosen mount 1 bonus feat from the mount feat list below. This feat does not count against the creature's normal feat capacity, though it must still meet all the prerequisites for it, as noted in the appropriate feat description in this book or Chapter 5 of the Player's Handbook. To grant a bonus feat, the Wind Rider must spend 1 month training the mount. The Wind Rider can bestow a second bonus feat on the same mount at 5th level and a third one at 9th level. These additional bonus feats require the same training time as the first. The Wind Rider can train only one mount at a time. So let's look at the Wind Rider bonus feats, and then we'll jump back into the other descriptions. The mount feats: alertness, blind fight, combat reflexes, dodge. Dragon's toughness. There were degrees of toughness higher than toughness, and you had to kind of take them in order, but toughness functioned different than it does in Pathfinder. Toughness in 3rd edition D&D gave you 3 or 4 hit points when you took it, but you could take it multiple times. Each time you took it, you got more hit points. That said, you could take the first one and then you could take one of the other ones. Like the 2 that are right in front of me are Dwarf's Toughness and Dragon's Toughness. Endurance, Flyby Attack, Giant's Toughness, so there's another one. Great Fortitude, Hover, Improved Critical, Improved Flight, Improved Initiative, Iron Will, Lightning Reflexes, Multi-Attack, Power Attack, Run, Snatch, Toughness, Weapon Finesse, Weapon Focus, Wing Over. The Wind Rider feats you get to choose from, which was the bonus feats I was going to read next, is Ambidexterity, Blind Fight, Combat Reflexes, Dodge, Exotic Weapon Proficiency, Expertise, which is now called Combat Expertise, Improved Critical, Improved Initiative, Improved Unarmed Strike, Mounted Combat, Point Blank Shot, Power Attack, Quick Draw, Weapon Finesse, Weapon Focus. So the bonus feat at 3rd level and again at 7th level, the Wind Rider might take a bonus feat from the list that I just read for the bonus feats. You must meet the prerequisites for them. Mount healing. At 3rd level, a Wind Rider gains +4 competency bonus on any heal check she makes on a creature of the same species as her current mount, and a +2 bonus on any heal checks made on other creatures capable of serving her as mounts. Mount Friendship. At 5th level, the Wind Rider gains a +4 circumstance bonus to animal empathy and diplomacy checks when dealing with creatures of the same species as her current mount, and a +2 bonus when dealing with any other creature capable of serving her as a mount. Mount Link. At 7th level, the Wind Rider can establish an empathetic link with any mount that she rides for at least 1 hour, as long as its intelligence score is at least 1. And most animals' intelligence score are 2, so you shouldn't have a lot of issues. She can maintain only one such link at a time with a mount other than her chosen one. Mount Luck. At 9th level, the Wind Rider can, as a free action, confer a luck bonus equivalent to her charisma bonus on saving throws of any mount within 60 feet with which she has an empathetic link. That's pretty cool. There's rules for ex-Wind Riders. And okay. The rules for the ex-Wind Riders are like any other class that loses their ability to be that class. All it is stating is that if you purposely mistreat a mount, then you can be kicked out and lose the benefits. And then it gives what a mount is, which could be anything that you could really think of as an actual mount. The example they have is a giant on a rock throwing a castle, because giants and humans love this prestige class. It was a side note that I didn't read to you guys out loud. So like I said, the only major changes I'd make is I'd probably increase the amount of spells per day towards the ladder of the class for 1st and 2nd level spells to give you more of them. And I'd probably increase the amount of spells you had access to total by combining both the Ranger and the Paladin spell list and comparing them to these spells, figuring out which ones would fit this prestige class and benefit you well. Let me know what you all think of the Wind Rider in the comments below. Also, let me know if this prestige class interested you, or if there's any changes you would make to this prestige class to use it in a Pathfinder campaign. Until we all game again, guys.